Alina. Yeah, it certainly warmed up earlier today, but gradually we're looking at a cool down in store. In fact, a little bit of cloud cover, that fog making its way to the coast, starting to span into your inland valleys. And when you wake up tomorrow morning, might see pretty gray conditions. By the afternoon, a little cooler. We are expecting sunshine eventually, but at this point, again, that fog really starting to roll into your inland spots, even into parts of the basin. Temperatures currently into the 60s, 63 in downtown, Inglewood at 61, 61 as well in Huntington, and Fullerton, you're currently at 63 degrees. So earlier today, you got up to 77, average is about 81, so you were a few degrees below average. Record temperature is 97, so didn't get anywhere close to that, but we did see few 90s and even few triple-digit temperatures earlier today. You'll see that right here. Here are your highs. Downtown getting up to 77 degrees. Santa Monica 69. Anaheim 84. Palmdale 102 degrees. Hemet hitting the century mark at 100. And Woodland Hills, you got up to 96 degrees. So we did cool down, but by cooler we went from, for example, 98 degrees yesterday in Woodland Hills to about 96 degrees today as we head into tomorrow, shedding a few more degrees, but inland spots still managing to hit the 90s for you. Over the next 24 hours, we are expecting, again, temperatures to dip down a little bit and then eventually cool down into the afternoon hours. Hot temperatures today, as we just talked about, and as we head to the next few days, as we've been saying all along, that cooling trend really starts to kick in. It's not going to feel too cool inland, but again, a little cooler, a little more cloud cover for you, and this should be lasting through at least Friday, maybe even the weekend. So we're going to have that weekend forecast coming up in just a little bit. Back to you.
All right, thanks.
But it's going to get a little cooler. But by cooler, we're talking 98 degrees going down to about 90 degrees. So there's cooler for you. So we can't call it cool, but we can call it cooler. How about that over the next couple of days? You will feel a difference at the coast and in the basin as well. That's where we're going to keep temperatures pretty mild, actually. You'll see that low cloud cover starting to move into the picture here. This is a shot from Mount Wilson this evening. Mostly clear, but again, starting to see some of that fog, and that's going to be the drill over the next few days. So it got pretty warm, even hot earlier today. That cooling, though, starting to kick in, just a few degrees here and there. More cloud cover. We're seeing it right now, and then a cooler weekend on tap. So we're going to have more on that weekend forecast coming up in just a bit. But over the next 24 hours, we're getting down to the 60s and then up into the mid-60s first thing in the morning, mid-70s by the afternoon with a little more sunshine, morning fog expected again through the basin, even through those inland valleys. But by the afternoon, things should be mixing up. So Futurecast showing you just that. It's set for 7:45 tomorrow morning. Just plenty of fog, actually, not only along the coast there, but it's starting to span into the basin, into your inland valleys. So waking up to gloomy conditions. But by the afternoon, the fog starting to recede back toward the coastline. So we're going to see a little more sunshine. The coast probably a little more socked in. Even by 5 o'clock in the evening, a little more sunshine for you. That's going to continue through the evening hours. But then that same pattern, that onshore flow kicks in. And with that, well, we're looking at a return of the marine layer and over the next few days, it's going to start to thicken up, especially as we head into the weekend. So let's get a quick look at that weekend forecast momentarily. We'll see that in a minute, but I do just want to show you high pressure is starting to move eastward, and as it does, well, low pressure is going to slide over the Pacific Northwest. How does that affect our forecast? Well, it's going to actually provide us a little more onshore flow. As that starts to develop, we'll see more cloud cover and cooler temperatures over the next few days. Your 5-day forecast showing you that for the basin in Orange County. A little cooler, still warm by Friday. Well, a little more cooling. So we're keeping things into the 70s pretty much all week long. By the time we hit the weekend, a little cloudier and a little cooler for you, but not a big fluctuation temperature-wise. Again, we're getting to a certain point where we're really just fluctuating maybe a degree or two as we head into, well, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even the first part of next week. We're still expecting upper 60s, maybe hitting 70 by Sunday and by Monday, but a little more socked in by the time we hit Saturday. Back to you.
All right, Evelyn, thanks.
And back here on Earth, we're dealing with a little more cloud cover and a cooler forecast. We'll have the details coming up after the break.
Well, that's cool. You probably know more about that than we do. I'm looking at the pictures. I'm trying to compare.
Yeah.
I don't really know what I'm looking at. So.
Well, it looked like, the resolution was a little higher on the second one. So there we go.
It's better because it was expensive.
A clearer picture for $300 million.
Yeah, there we go. Well, sure, it was worth it.
Whatever.
So it's cooling down.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good news.
Kinda,
right?
It's kind of. Yeah, it depends. I personally have been enjoying sort of the sweltering heat.
It has been nice.
I know a lot of you probably haven't. So, we can't speak for everybody. So it is gradually cooling down. But as we mentioned earlier, we were up in the 90s and the triple digits earlier today. So in the next couple of days, well, we're still getting up to 90 or at least close into your inland spots. So still pretty warm inland, but we are dealing a little more fog in the forecast. You'll see it right here at LAX. It's starting to approach the coast. In fact, starting to span into your inland spots and waking up to maybe even foggy conditions first thing tomorrow morning. Not only limited to the coast, and then by the afternoon, a little more sunshine, but overall, we're starting to cool it down. So it's a tiny bit cooler in some spots today. It's going to continue to cool down a few degrees as we head into tomorrow. Radar showing you again a little bit of cloud cover spanning into the basin now and into your inland valleys. So that fog really drifting in. Temperature's still pretty mild. 62 in downtown Alhambra at 64 degrees. Over to Orange County, we're into the 60s, 62 in Huntington. And over to Westminster, you're currently at 62 degrees. So 60s overall right now. Really not getting too much cooler overnight. Earlier today, though, we did get a little bit cooler. Got up to 77 in downtown. That's just a few degrees below average for this time of year. And we're going to continue to fall a little below average, especially in the basin and the coast as well. So as we just mentioned, downtown 77, Santa Monica at the airport right there, 69 degrees. Palmdale, 102 degrees. So we did make it to the triple digits. Hemet, you cooled down from about 102 yesterday to about 100 today. So not a big difference for you. In Woodland Hills, you got up to 98 yesterday and you cooled down to about 96 earlier this afternoon. So we can't really call it cooling, but officially, technically, it's a little cooler. You'll see that in your 5-day forecast. We're getting a bit cooler over the next couple of days as we head into the weekend, even cooler as well, even cloudier. That onshore flow really making a push into your inland spots. And with that, we're expecting pretty cool conditions mainly along the coast. Take a look right here, upper 60s. That's going to really continue through, well, Friday, Saturday, and then by Sunday and Monday, maybe gaining a degree, but we're still pretty mild, about 70 degrees, low cloud cover. Do want to mention Saturday, a little cloudier, especially at the coast. Back to you.